So yesterday you looked at kind of an explanation of what happens when you take the midsegment and the side that it's parallel to, and kind of what the relationship is between their lengths. So first thing is, right, the midsegment is the segment that connects the midpoints of two sides of a triangle, right? So if I look at this triangle that I have drawn here, right, I have a midpoint here, and that is my midsegment. Okay, so hopefully, while you were looking at that GeoGebra thing yesterday, you noticed a kind of relationship between the midsegment and the side that it's parallel to, right? So if I have a midsegment, right, then, so whatever it is, right, so in this case, we're looking at DE and AB, those sides are going to be parallel, right? So DE is parallel to AB, and then it's DE is half of AB, right? So if I want to find the length, I can take half of AB and get that. Okay? So you should be able to hopefully kind of easily identify parallel segments between what's the midsegment and the sides of the triangle, right? These ones we're kind of looking at what appears to be parallel is parallel, right? So RS, right, is going to be parallel to DF. RT is parallel to EF, and then I can look at the last side and say that TS is parallel to DE. So if I want to find the side lengths, right, looking at kind of finding TU, UB, and QR here. So if I start with TU, right, so I want to know what is TU. So what is this segment there? I look at it and say, what side is TU parallel to? Well, it's parallel to RS, right? So I know it's half of that. So TU is going to be equal to 1/2 of RS. And so now I can kind of just plug that in and say 1/2 of RS, and RS is 40. All right, so what is 1/2 of 40? 20. So TU is 20. And so I can work through that for the rest of these. All right, so UB, all right, that red segment there. So I look at and say that's got to be half of the side parallel to it. So the side parallel to it is 50. UB is 1/2 of 50. So now I can just take that and say 25. So now I know that UB is 25. Okay. And then the last one, we're looking at what is QR, right? So now we're looking at what's the side of the triangle. So I know that if I were to take half of QR, right, I would have to equal the side parallel to it, which is TB, right? And so now I think about what do I know, right? Well, I know that TB is 30, so I can say 1/2 of QR is equal to 30. So now to undo that 1/2, I need to multiply by 2, right? So QR is equal to 60. Okay, so, all right, if they're just actual like number lengths there, it's pretty straightforward. You might see some other questions where they give you kind of, there's a variable in there, and so I need to set this up and just think about that whole idea that, right, this, so like if I'm looking at this x minus 4 side and this 17, right, x minus 4 is half of 17, So I'm going to say that x minus 4 is equal to 1/2 that side length. Right? So simple with that, 1/2 of 17 is 8.5. That should be x minus 4 is equal to 8.5. It's an I add 4, right? So now I'm just solving an equation. So x is going to equal 12.5.